Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This one's from user throwaway1066a. My 37 male, ex-wife 39 female went through my medical cabinet and told my son 6 about my fiancé's 26 female mental illnesses. I considered posting this on a mental health sub, but as I'm really asking about how to salvage a good family dynamic from this whole mess, I figured it probably belonged here. Any help you can offer is appreciated. English is not my first language, so I will try my best to be brief and clear. My ex-wife, 39 female, and I, 37 male, were divorced about 3 years ago. Started proceedings shortly after the birth of our second son, now 4. It was a rough divorce for both of us emotionally, but I thought we had agreed to be cordial to one another out of a sense of dedication to our sons, 4 and 6 male. I started dating my fiancé a little under 2 years ago and we got engaged in early December. While my fiancé has her own apartment, she frequently stays with me and my sons since both of our offices have been closed due to the bug. My ex-wife also has a live-in boyfriend, 44 male, if any of that matters. I should say now that I am mad at my ex-wife tonight for many reasons. She has a history of being unreliable in terms of childcare. This weekend was supposed to be her weekend with our sons. She took them on Thursday and called me today to say I had to come pick them up early because she has a big project to do and needs to focus. I was annoyed on behalf of my boys because they should get some time with their mother, but whatever, I was happy to pick them up. When we got to my home, my 6-year-old seemed quite restless. My fiancé at this time was out running errands and he kept asking me when she was getting home. I said I didn't know, but finally got frustrated as he was following me around and begging for a better answer, and asked him what was wrong. He burst out crying to me and said that his mommy told him to be careful because my fiancé is a crazy person, and that my little son should tell his mommy right away if my fiancé ever does anything that scares him. For background, my fiancé is not crazy, but she does have some mental health issues. She has severe depression and ADHD. She sees a therapist, a psychiatrist, and her general practitioner regularly for these issues. She has been hospitalized for trying to hurt herself in the past, but never, ever for trying to hurt anyone else. But what is really important is that due to medical allergies and bad reactions to previous drugs, she takes 2 antipsychotic drugs per day instead of standard antidepressants. Because my fiancé's issues are completely under control by medical professionals, I've never mentioned this to my ex-wife. I was very confused. I called my ex-wife and asked if she had actually said those things to my son. She glibly answered yes, but said she had instructed him not to tell me. I was obviously furious for a million reasons, but foremost, I was confused. I asked her why she thought my fiancé was crazy. My ex-wife said when she came to get our sons on Thursday, she had needed to use the facilities. I was in a Zoom meeting at the time, so she asked my fiancé if she could use the bathroom. My fiancé said yes, but asked her to use the one upstairs, as my fiancé was in the middle of cleaning the one on the ground floor. While upstairs, she had taken the liberty of opening our medical cabinet and taking pictures of my fiancé's prescription bottles. When she got home, she googled them and figured out they were antipsychotics, and had what she called an important talk with my older son about mental health and safety. I lost my temper completely and screamed at my ex-wife, not in front of my boys. I went just outside. My fiancé has a very good relationship with my sons. At this point, my fiancé is probably one of their primary caregivers, as I have primary custody of my sons and my fiancé easily takes on 50% of the childcare tasks in our house. My ex-wife knows this. How could she possibly think it was a good idea to tell my son that my fiancé is crazy and make him fear one of his primary caregivers? My ex-wife yelled back, saying I have no right to tell her what to do, in response to me asking why in the hell she was looking in my medical cabinet, and that I couldn't tell her what not to say to her own son. I finally hung up in frustration. My fiancé came home later and noticed that my 6-year-old was more withdrawn. After they went to sleep, she asked me about it, and I told her he was sad he had to leave his mommy's house early because I didn't have the heart to tell her the truth. I still don't. My questions. I know I need to tell my fiancée about this, and the sooner the better. How can I tell her what happened? She lost a very good position in her field due to a mental breakdown almost 3 years ago, and is now very sensitive about her mental health problems. I don't want her to feel even more embarrassed. Second, how can I assure my son that my fiancé is not crazy and will not hurt him? Third, what do I do about my ex-wife snooping in my home? Well, OP, you definitely are asking the right questions, so I would address them one by one. The first one regarding telling your fiancé what happened, I would say, tell her the truth. Tell her that your wife violated the privacy of your own home because she just took advantage of using the bathroom. The most important thing is that you need to assure your fiancé that none of this is her fault or your son's fault. The only person to blame here is that bee of an ex-wife that you have. Now, regarding assuring your son that your fiancé is not crazy, I would ask him if he has ever seen my fiancé do anything that could scare him before his mom said anything, and then bring up all the fun, good memories that your son has with your fiancé. Maybe after that, the four of you can go somewhere all together and interact so that your son sees that she's actually not crazy and that his mom is a bee. But no, you can't do that last part. He's gonna figure that out when he grows up. And what do you do about your ex-wife snooping in your home? Well, I'm not sure if you can legally do something, but if you can, I'd go for that option. Apart from that, your ex-wife should never be welcomed in your house again. She needs to wait outside for the kids. And that's it. She lost that privilege when she violated your privacy. But of course, that's just my opinion and it's been a very long one. So let's continue with the community comments to see what kind of advice OP got. And then we'll move on with the update. Sneaky Seer says, so first of all, speak to a lawyer as soon as possible. X could use this to change childcare arrangements or whatever. The sooner you know what her worst intention could be, the better. So call a lawyer first thing in the morning. Second, you need to tell your fiancé that your ex snooped around when she used the bathroom and made the wrong assumptions. She needs to know before your ex can try to use it against her in any way or poison your kids against her. Maybe speak to a child psychologist. You are in a sticky situation about communicating with your kids. 1. You don't want to say anything that later can be twisted as you poisoning your kids against their mom. 2. You don't want to let this slide and get to a point where your kids tell someone else they don't feel comfortable around your fiancé. 3. You want to make sure your kids are open and honest with you and know that you'd never put them in harm's way and whomever you bring into their lives is safe to be around. And then you need new boundaries with your ex. She is not to come inside your home, not for using the bathroom, not for anything else. She can sit in the car and you can take the kids out to her. Mystery Machine 2 says, first rule in divorce, never let an ex back into your home under no circumstances. XL says, your ex crossed many lines. What a C. First, you never ask a kid to keep a secret. That is so wrong. Second, she shattered your son's safe house. Third, she tried to destroy your fiancé in the core by this. Aside from the fact that she should not have snooped around. You have to tell your fiancé when your son is gone. Your ex has to correct this to your son first. Then, the two of you can talk to your son. Support your fiancé wherever you can and make sure she can get a meeting with one of her general practitioners. Okay, well, I would say that OP got some really solid advice here, particularly from that first commenter. So let's move on with the update to see what OP ended up doing. I tried to post this a few days ago, but the mods removed it as it was too close to the original post. I am very glad they did, as some new things have happened. Foremost, I want to thank you all for your kind and helpful comments. I know I am sometimes not a good communicator. English is my second language, but many of you were very patient with me and helpful. Thank you again. I took your advice and waited to see if my son would forget about what his mother told him. Sadly, he did not. He was still visibly uncomfortable around my fiancé on Sunday morning, which is very unusual for him because normally he is very affectionate with her. My fiancé noticed his behavior and was also upset and kept asking him if he felt sick or if something had happened, etc. Following your advice, I took my 6-year-old out for ice cream Sunday afternoon. I explained to him that just like there are many diseases of the body that have different symptoms and require medicine, There are different diseases of the brain that have different symptoms and require medicine. I said his mommy had made a mistake and that my fiancée had a disease in her brain that just makes her sad and very tired, but it doesn't make her crazy, dangerous, or mean. Her medicine makes her better so she can be happy and has the energy to spend time with us. I promised, as many of you wisely suggested, that I would never let anyone who was unsafe or scary into our house. One of you also suggested I tell him that the actor who plays Captain America also takes medicine for depression. This is a very good suggestion, and though I didn't see it on time, I will mention it in the future. My ex-wife hadn't answered my calls as of Monday, when I first tried to post, but she called me last night. She not only sounded off, but she also doubled down on her position, claiming I can't tell her what to do anywhere, not even in a house that isn't hers, and further saying I was a misogynist for telling a woman what to do. What? Additionally, she told me to go F myself when I asked her to return a bag of clothes belonging to my 4-year-old that had been left at her house, and claimed she was going to burn them in order to prevent me from using them for any child I might have with my fiancé. She hung up on me and has since blocked my number. I swear to you, she was never this outwardly unreasonable and aggressive while we were married. Honestly, I am concerned for her welfare. I will be contacting my lawyer to discuss a different custody arrangement, and I am in the midst of writing an email to her boyfriend to understand what is going on and see that someone is aware of her erratic behavior. My fiancé is the hardest part. My son was a little more comfortable with her Sunday night, but still noticeably less cuddly. He has slowly gotten a little more comfortable with her, but it is still not the same. On Sunday night, my fiancé definitely noticed the difference in his behavior and was very upset after they went to bed. I had to tell her what happened, and she was very, very upset. My fiancé is a very sensitive person and has always been afraid that my ex-wife didn't like her. I told her that anyone who goes through someone else's medical cabinet is just crazy, and that isn't her fault. Regardless, the last few days have been hard for her and she had to take off work Tuesday morning due to a panic attack. She saw her therapist today and she is slowly starting to feel better. I have called several different child therapists in my area and have gotten a consultation for next Friday. Again, thank you all for your help. The main reason I post this update is to tell you how much I appreciate your assistance. Thank you. Well, OP, hopefully after talking to your son and talking to your fiancé, you will be able to further reduce the damage that your ex-wife did. Hopefully it won't be long until your son is cuddly again with your fiancé and all is right with the world. Now, regarding your ex-wife, that lady has issues, man. Like serious issues. First of all, that false indignation about you not being able to tell her what to do? F that, it's your house. She can't just go snooping around somebody else's medicine cabinet. That's not right. And on top of that, that stupid, ridiculous spin about you being a misogynist for telling her what to do? That is so off topic that it's both laughable and annoying at the same time. Up to that point, I was thinking, well, OP, your wife sounds like she's kinda stupid. But then she went on that crazy rant about burning clothes because she didn't want you to use them with another child. I find that like petty craziness, right? Like she snapped or something. There is something going on with your ex. She's not just stupid, she's gone mental. So you would definitely want to get to the bottom of that. But of course, all of that is just my opinion. What do you guys think OP should do? What do you guys think about the ex-wife? Let me know in the comment section. And so we've reached the end of the video. I truly hope you liked it. If you did, leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe to reach our goal of 100,000 subscribers. Also, if you feel like chatting with others from this community, you can always join my Discord server and check out my subreddit. I'll leave the links in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next video.